Hello crafty friend, it's Justine. Today I'm going to be making 4 cards with the 3D embossing folder of the month from Spellbinders. This one is so gorgeous. Look at it with the silver mirror cardstock. Can you believe it? It's called the Stylized Floral. And as you can guess from the title, it is a floral image, and it is just full of flowers, and there's little petite ones and then these big areas, and it is so gorgeous. I am just convinced that if you put any 3D embossing folder on mirror cardstock, you're going to love the result. So to pair with my embossing folder today, I wanted to shop my stash because I always tell people to shop their stash, so I wanted to take my own advice and I did some stitching, and I just love the results that I got. I'm going to add this beautiful stitched butterfly to this card front in just a minute here. First, I'm going to put on this band that's going to go across my whole card like so. And this beautiful butterfly is just adorable. You can stitch with it, you can glimmer with it. And then there's sentiments that say things like, "You give me butterflies." I just love this one. I just love this die. Okay, so my whole butterfly is going to go right about there. I have my adorable sentiment from Spellbinders as well. I'll link that in the description. It is a glimmer one. And that's going to go right about here. Just kind of peeking out behind the butterfly. No, it's not lined up perfectly on the band, and that's intentional because the butterfly isn't lined up perfectly either. Okay, then for my antenna, I'll put those on first. They're very delicate, and I die cut it out with some thicker cardstock just so it can hold up to kind of standing on its own, if you will. Then I have my body of the butterfly, which is going to go right in the middle, as you might have guessed. Even that by itself is just gorgeous, but let's add the stitching parts and make it even more beautiful. So the stitching parts are kind of like a little puzzle piece. They have a right side and a left side, so I need to make sure that that is going on the right side, which of course I did not do. Whoops, put that on the right side. There we go. Technically the left. And I'm not going to put glue on the top part of the stitched part of the wing because I want it to still have that dimension of the butterfly kind of just landed on the card. Maybe give it a little round. There we go. And then a little bit more glue on the bottom. Again, there is a right side and a left side for the stitching areas. I really should just grab my tweezers. Yes, that's the right side, and then I'll do the left side just the same. And there we have it, card number 1 all finished. Now card number 2, I chose to go kind of simple with this one, but I think that the colors on this one are just really pretty. So that is kind of doing the work on this card. So I have a dark navy blue background, and then I have this beautiful like aquamarine blue that I used my embossing folder on, and that's going to kind of be nested there. Again, this is an A2 sized video, so all of these cards are A2. And then I'm going to put another band on, and the band this time I also embossed with the 3D embossing folder. And that's going to go right on the bottom this time, so it looks a little different than the last one. And this is going to be the landing spot for my sentiment, which is a glimmered sentiment. It says happy birthday. This sentiment is from Carissa Wiley's birthday collection that came out, I think, 2 months ago. And I just love that it's kind of like a big glimmered sentiment. There you have it. I think I'm going to add a couple embellishments to this one. I will pull from my stash. I have a bling basket. I think I'm going to use this kind of grommet style half circles. These are self-adhesive embellishments from Spellbinders, and they're just kind of super shiny and give kind of a grommet look to cards, which I like, and it's very in style, in fashion, to have these on your clothes, so why not put them on a card? I'm just going to stick with 5 and kind of go with the odd number, and again, let the embossing folder do the work for me because it is just full of texture and dimension. My next card, again, I used the stitched butterfly, but this time my background is white, and it really is just perfect for Copic coloring on the back. So I've seen a few people do that before with embossing folders, especially. But recently I saw my good crafty friend, Melanie Smith. If you haven't watched her channel, you got to do that. I'll put a link in the description to her channel on this video, but she and others used the embossing folder that was from the Sealed for Summer collection with white paper like this, and then took Copic markers and colored it, which is a really fun way to kind of give your embossing folders a new kind of oomph to it. Again, I'm going to kind of make it look like the butterfly just landed like that. So I kind of took that direction for my last card that I'm going to show you in just a few seconds here, but I kind of used another technique as well. So hang on just a second and I will show you that card. I hope everyone is doing well. I am super duper excited for this month because on the 10th I have an announcement that I'm going to put on YouTube. So if you are excited, if you are interested in hearing what that is, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and come back on the 10th. Now, I thought I was going to use the sympathy sentiment on this one, but I think I am going to skip it and use it on another card. I think that it is just gorgeous. It's from a Spellbinders Glimmer set, but I think I will just hang on to that for later and use it on something else. I had envisioned using it, but it just isn't quite what I was thinking it would be. So I'll use it on something else because I really do like the script of that, and I like the white and gold. This one I will keep sentiment. I won't have a sentiment on this one just so I can keep it kind of neutral. It could be a thank you, a birthday, it really could be anything without a sentiment. So I'm just going to leave it without one this time. My embellishments are a little all over the place. I'm not sure if I'm liking the placement of this one, so I'm just going to gently lift it up. Did tear just a little bit, but it's okay. I think the big one's just a little too big for this card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do a little one. Oh no, it was not launched too far. There we go. Thankfully, my Tool-in-One helps me with this. Okay, there we go. I do like the look of that one. It is rather simple, but that's okay. The beauty is in the simplicity. Okay, my last one, like I said, I took inspiration from Melanie's video where she had her embossing, where she colored her embossing, but also I took inspiration from just the embossing folder in general. I used some scraps and made a panel, then embossed the panel and added Copic coloring, and this was really what sparked this whole video because I was just playing around in my craft room. I was actually just kind of hanging out. I wasn't filming, I wasn't doing anything specific. Sometimes I am kind of in the zone and just making cards for my YouTube videos or planning out those things, and sometimes I just want to kind of play in my craft room, and this was kind of the product. This was the product of me just playing around in my craft room, just trying different things. So I just thought this is too pretty just to leave. This is too pretty not to put on a card, so I just thought, let's put it on. So I have this band that's going to go around. I don't know why, but I've been kind of into the bands lately. Been watching a lot of Stampin' Up! People on YouTube, and that seems to be a thing for the Stampin' Up! Gals. So there you have it. And then I'm going to use this stamped sentiment that I stamped out many months ago. I think it was in February, and I was planning on putting this on my hummingbird card, but for whatever reason it just wasn't working with my eye, but I saved it, and I'm so glad I did, because this is the perfect card to put it on. I love the way it turned out. That sentiment is from the Hummingbird collection. That's BB's Hummingbirds. So I will link all of the materials that I used on these cards in the description. So if you're interested, you can check those out for yourself. But just a little heads up, that was from BB's collection. With this one, I think it's fun. With embossing folders, it's always fun to add just different embellishments, and I think that these leftover embellishments that I had from a card kit were the perfect touch to kind of bling up this card a little bit. The last thing I'm going to do on this one is add a little bit of Wink of Stella on the flowers, just to give a little bit of shine and sparkle to the big pieces of the flower. I'm not being very precise, just putting a little shimmer down, and again, just playing, enjoying the process. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video with the 3D embossing folder. Again, this one is called the Stylized Floral from Spellbinders. Which one is your favorite? Is it one of the butterfly ones? Is it the Copic coloring one? Or is it the really simple one with just the happy birthday sentiment? I think if I had to pick a favorite, it would be a tie between these two, but I love the simplicity of both of these as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and come on back on the 10th of August for an announcement on my channel. I'm so excited. Anyway, have a wonderful rest of your day, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.